Have you ever heard of a war so vast and complex it's been called Africa's World War? It didn't happen in the 1940s, but in our recent history, right at the heart of Africa. This is the story of the Congo Wars, a conflict that reshaped a continent. To understand it, we have to go back to 1994, to the Rwandan genocide. In just 100 days, unimaginable horror unfolded, and its aftershocks would soon shake its massive neighbor, the nation then known as Zaire. After the genocide, over 1 million Hutu refugees, including many of the perpetrators, fled into eastern Zaire. This created a massive humanitarian crisis and a deeply unstable situation. The refugee camps became militarized, used as bases to launch attacks back into Rwanda. For Rwanda's new government, this was an unacceptable threat right on their border. They knew they had to act. But they weren't the only ones unhappy with Zaire's longtime ruler, Mobutu Sese Seko. Mobutu had been in power for over 30 years, leading a regime notorious for corruption. His grip was weakening, and many inside and outside Zaire wanted him gone. This is where the Alliance of Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Congo, or AFDL, comes in. Led by a veteran guerrilla fighter named Laurent Desire Kabila, this alliance became the face of the rebellion. But behind the scenes, it was heavily backed by foreign powers, most notably Rwanda and Uganda. In October 1996, the First Congo War began. With powerful military support from its neighbors, the AFDL's advance was stunningly fast. They swept across the vast country, facing little effective resistance from Mobutu's demoralized army. City after city fell. The international community, long tired of Mobutu, largely stood by and watched. Within just 7 months, in May 1997, the rebels marched into the capital, Kinshasa. Mobutu fled into exile, and his 32-year rule was over. Laurent Desire Kabila declared himself president and renamed the country the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC. It seemed like a new dawn. But the peace was fragile, and the alliances that brought Kabila to power were about to shatter. Kabila quickly grew wary of the foreign influence in his country, particularly from his former allies, Rwanda and Uganda. He saw their troops on his soil as an occupation, not a partnership. In July 1998, he made a fateful decision. He ordered all foreign military forces to leave the Congo. This was a direct challenge to Rwanda and Uganda, who still had major security and economic interests in the eastern DRC. They felt betrayed. Their response was immediate and devastating. Just 1 year after the First War ended, the Second Congo War erupted in August 1998. This time, the conflict was far bigger and more complicated. On one side, you had Kabila's government, now supported by a new set of allies, including Angola, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. On the other side, you had Rwanda and Uganda, backing a collection of new Congolese rebel groups. The country was essentially carved up. At its peak, at least 9 African nations and dozens of armed groups were fighting on Congolese soil, each with their own agendas. This is why it's called Africa's World War. The fighting was brutal, but the real toll came from the chaos it created. Disease, famine, and displacement skyrocketed. Millions of civilians were caught in the crossfire, with some estimates suggesting it became the deadliest conflict worldwide since World War II. In 2001, in the midst of the war, Laurent Desire Kabila was assassinated by one of his own bodyguards. His son, Joseph Kabila, just 29 years old, was immediately sworn in as the new president. Inheriting a fractured and war-torn nation, Joseph Kabila proved to be a more pragmatic leader. He reopened negotiations and showed a willingness to find a peaceful resolution. Under immense international pressure, a peace agreement was finally signed in 2002 in Sun City, South Africa. This accord led to the withdrawal of most foreign armies and the creation of a transitional government that included the main rebel factions. In 2003, the war was officially declared over. But for the people in eastern Congo, the violence never truly stopped. The war left a power vacuum that was filled by countless militias, many of whom continue to terrorize local populations to this day, fighting over the region's vast mineral wealth. The Congo Wars officially ended, but their legacy of instability and human suffering endures. It's a complex and often overlooked chapter of modern history, but one that is crucial to understanding the challenges that Central Africa still faces today. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, Please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into world history. See you next time.